What's up, everybody? It's Brandon Locaron here, and today we are talking about why multifamily projects or multi-unit properties make better investments than any other sort of real estate class. And here's the thing, I love multifamily because there's so many reasons. In this video, we're going to dive into some of my favorite reasons. I'm sure you guys have your favorite reasons. Definitely comment below. Would love to see why you love multifamily or maybe why you don't like multifamily. So let's jump into it. So first of all is what I call cash flow equalization. And what I mean by that, for instance, let's start small, right? Let's say we're working with a 4-unit here. So we have a 4-unit building. Maybe you bought it with a 3.5% down FHA loan and you use some of the income to qualify you. Or now you could do 5% conventional loan that they just approve. So however you bought it, there is cash flow equalization. And one of the things that I recommend that people do is they stagger their rents. For instance, let's say you have 4 units, maybe you live in one. Well, each rent, like the 3 other units should not be up. Like the leases should not be up in the same month. You should stagger those rents. So maybe you start off with a 9-month, for one unit, and then maybe you did a 12-month for another unit. Maybe you did an 18-month for the other unit, right? Do you see what I'm saying? So as each lease is up, you don't really see a massive fluctuation in the income of that property. And that's one of the cool things that multifamily properties allows you to do, right? So, as you can imagine, right? Like you're going along. If you have like all your leases up at the same time, it's just going to drop, right? Versus if you're going along and you have one of your leases up, you just drop a little bit and then you build back up. Then you go, another 2 months, drop again, and then keep going and build back up. So like, as you can see, you can achieve cash flow like equalization. And it's so cool because, it jumps me into the next thing, right? Which maintenance. So maintenance is something that's so much more easier on multifamily projects because you only have one of everything, right? So you got one roof, you got one parking lot, you got one, heater, depending on how the water is set up. You've got, just one system that you're just managing. And that power of one, but many is so cool because it's only one building or, one unit or one area of units. And you only have one maintenance bill, but you have 4 streams of income, right? Or 3 streams of income if you're living in it. So that's what's really cool about multifamily. Another thing is it's easier to raise rents because as you raise rents on one unit, you can say, well, unit 2 is paying, $100 more. So then like when unit 3's rent is up, you can say, okay, I'm going to raise it a little bit more. So you can kind of use each other to build it up, assuming that you're within market rents, but maybe you bought something that you need to do value add with, and that's a cool way as well. So it's easier to raise rent because you can use each of the other units to comp out your other rents, right? So you can have like some sort of justification in that process. So because of that, it allows your value of the property to increase at a much higher rate, in my opinion. Especially right now, multifamily has been like super popular amongst real estate investors. A lot of our clients are buying multifamily because they see the benefit of it, right? So the value is continuing to go up. And as it continues to go up, you start seeing these cap rates in these certain areas start going down. And if you get in at the right time and you got something that was value added, right, or you needed to do value add, you can force value into that property and start, decreasing your cap rate too, which increases your value, right? So that's something to think about because your value just continues to increase. There's so many people out there that want multifamily because it is a great investment. So the other thing too is it can be easier to qualify using a DSCR loan, right? So one of the things that people look at when purchasing investment properties is use what's called a DSCR loan, which is a debt service coverage ratio. And they use the rental income from that property to qualify you to purchase it. And with multifamily, even greater than 4 units, 20 units, 50 units, that's how commercial banks look at everything. They look at it with the eyes of like, how much cash flow is this asset generating? And multifamily truly gives you a better picture and a better opportunity to jump into it using that, minimum down payment, depending on what type of loan program you get, whether it's 5%, 15%, 20%, 25%. But it shows the value clearly. It shows the income very clear as to like why it's coming in, right? So the other thing too is that with multifamily, it's just so like it's so versatile, right? Because with multifamily, as the zoning changes depending on where you are, you might be able to have a bottom floor unit. You might be able to have storefront units start included in that property. So you might be able to build out some storefronts, and depending on what areas you're in, like what areas did you invest in? Is it like an opportunity zone that they need some sort of like storefront, right? So you can increase the value using storefront. And again, like that just continues to grow that asset's value. With multifamily, the biggest thing too is with the zoning. The zoning is probably one of the most versatile zoning, like criteria or like what category it falls into. So it's really cool because it allows you to, have like just so much more, right? And when I say so much more is like typically with the zoning, as the zoning around you changes, there is zoning changes that would allow you to increase the amount of units on that property. So assuming that your building is structurally sound, you can tack on some more units on top of it or beside it or, behind it. So that's the cool thing about multifamily zoning is it allows you to kind of create more and add more units. So that just further continues to just solidify your cash flow, your value on the property, and also the maintenance, right? Because like, it's really cool. The other thing too is like when we're talking about the BRRRR, I always have to lump in the BRRRR somehow. I love the BRRRR. The BRRRR strategy is my favorite strategy ever, right? So if you bought something that needed a ton of value add and you did a cash out refinance, you can use that money that you cashed out refinance with to continue to increase the value, and which increases rents and increases like the overall asset evaluation, right? So that's just some of the cool things about the multifamily projects. Would love to know what you guys think about multifamily or multi-units. Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, subscribe below if I don't see you, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Take care.